Okay, here we go. Learning objective 1-7 is that students should be able to convert between units of the metric system. You probably already know how to do this. You probably did it in junior high, so we're going to try to be quick on this one. We're even using the same strategy you probably used in junior high, though there are multiple ways to convert in the metric system. This is just, I think, the simplest way, the easiest way to remember, and also this is the way we do it, keeping in mind that we often have devices that can do these conversions for us, and so if the way is not simple or quick, then we'd be best just, looking it up on our phone. So when we're talking about the metric system, we're talking about SI units. SI stands for a French phrase. I'm not French, so I won't try to say it, but it stands for the International System of Units. And these are the units that we use in science. All of these units, most of these units, have an unchanging physical basis, which means they're actually not just made up, they're based on something. Time, for example, which we measure in seconds, is based on how fast certain radioactive elements decay. The symbol for time is always a lowercase s. Mass is the one that doesn't have a physical basis. It's actually just based on a big hunk of metal in Paris that we call le kilogramme, and anything that is the same mass as that is a kilogram. We measure mass in grams officially, the symbol for which is a lowercase g, but to be honest, we often also use kilograms in physics. For volume, we use liters, symbolized with a capital L, because a lowercase l looks like a 1. Sometimes we use this symbol of L, but we don't do that much in physics. So I'm going to leave that off. Distance is measured in meters with the symbol m. Please don't try to use any other units other than that, or their different versions with prefixes, which we'll see in just a second. So in order to do metric conversions, we use what's called the ladder method. To understand the ladder method, we need to know that each of the basic units, seconds, grams, liters, and meters, can have a prefix added to it to create a larger or a smaller unit. So here's the ladder down here. Basic units are in the middle. These 3 boxes represent prefixes we can add to the basic unit to make a larger unit of measure. So for example, I can make the decameter. I can add deca as the prefix in front of the word meter, or I can use a capital D in the symbol, and that creates a meter, a unit of measure that is larger than the meter. Larger than a decameter is a hectameter. Oops, lowercase h. And larger than that is a kilometer or kilometer, we sometimes say. The smaller units use the prefixes deci, which is a lowercase d. Don't get deci and deca confused. Okay, deca always is uppercase, deci is lowercase. Smaller than a decimeter is a centimeter, which we do use those all the time. It's just a convenient size. And then smaller than that is a millimeter. Now, these go way smaller or way bigger, but we're just going to focus on these 6 prefixes. each prefix that you add increases or decreases the unit by a factor of 10. Another way to say that is you can say that it moves the decimal by one place. So what am I talking about? Well, a decameter is 10 times the size of a meter. A hectometer is 100 times the size of a meter. A kilometer is 1,000 times. So you'd have 1,000 meters for every 1 kilometer. Deci is 1/10 of a meter, 1/100th of a meter, and 1/1,000th of a meter. That's what we mean when we say increases or decreases by a factor of 10. But that's also the same as moving the decimal. Think about it like this. If you have the number 8 and you multiply it by 10, that'll give you 80. But you could also think about that as 8 has a decimal right here. If we move that decimal one place, it now becomes the number 80. So, same thing. Same idea. Okay. Alright, let's do some practice. So, first we're going to find the unit that you're starting with. Second, find the unit that you're converting to. Third, count the boxes from the starting unit to the finishing unit. And fourth, move the decimal the number of spaces and in the same direction that you moved. Sorry, I forgot to talk there for a second. So we'll see if we can color code these examples. Alright, so let's just pick a number. We're going to go 432 meters. And we're going to convert that, just go to kilometers. Alright, well, first, find the unit we're starting with. The unit we're starting with is, I'm going to do it in yellow, is meters. Meters is the basic unit right there. Second, we're going to find the unit I'm converting to, and that is kilometers right there. That uses the prefix kilo, which is on this part of the diagram. The third step is to count the boxes from the starting unit to the finishing unit. So we're going to start at meter and go 1, 2, 3 boxes to the left. The fourth step is that we're going to move the decimal that number of spaces and in the same direction you moved. Alright, so here's my answer. 4, 3, 2. The decimal in that number, because we're not showing it, if you don't see it, the decimal's always at the end. And we're going to move it according to this red line right here. We're going to move it 3 spaces to the left. So here we go. Decimal. 1, 2, 3. There's my new decimal. And so my answer is 0.432 kilometers. Alright, let's try another number. Let's do 5.6201 hectometers to centimeters. Okay? Alright, so our first starting unit is going to be hectometers. Our finishing unit is centimeters. Let's go up to the ladder. Let's erase our previous example. Start right here at hectometers. And our finishing unit is going to be centimeters. Now we count the number of boxes. Remember, we're starting at hecta, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. Okay, time to go down here. We're going to take our decimal and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So our answer is 56201 centimeters. Put a little comma right there, and it is clearly 56,201 centimeters. So there you go. As long as we know this chart, as long as you kind of memorize this order, you're going to be good to go. There's a lot of ways to remember this, and you should probably pick one so that you can remember this order easily, because it's the key to converting in the metric system. One way that I've memorized that in the past is with King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Another one that I like is kangaroo helps dingo because dingo can't multiply.